December 10, 2025, 8:17 p.m. Washington, D.C. Live broadcast. Jasmine Crockett leans toward her mic and throws the words out like she's cutting a wire. Donald, you and Ivanka kept a marriage secret for years. And it wasn't small. It was the kind you hide because it would set the whole room on fire. Trump's face freezes. Ivanka's hand slips from her lap. A producer off-camera whispers, "We're still live, but nobody moves." 17 seconds start ticking like bombs inside the studio. Trump jerks forward. "What the hell are you talking about?" Ivanka's eyes shoot toward Jasmine, not with confusion, but with warning, the kind that says Jasmine has stepped into a room nobody was supposed to open. Jasmine doesn't blink. "You know exactly what I'm talking about. And so does she." The host tries to interrupt, but Jasmine keeps going, voice sharp and steady, refusing to let the moment escape. Trump slams his palm on the desk. "Stop talking in riddles. If you have something to say, say it." Jasmine leans back. "All right. You want it plain? Here it is. The marriage secret you two protected wasn't about the public. It was about control. It was about the truth around the agreement you made, and the one you broke." Ivanka inhales like she's bracing for impact. Trump throws his hands up. "This is nonsense." Jasmine tilts her head. "You sure? Because the papers tell a different story. The texts tell a different story. And the dates? Those tell the story you're terrified of people hearing." Trump tries to talk again, but Jasmine keeps slicing through him with quiet, simple truth. "You and Ivanka kept a private deal that shaped your entire family dynamic. You two decided something that the country never knew, and you both swore never to admit it." Ivanka whispers, "Stop." Jasmine catches it. There it is. The first crack. The host clears his throat. "We need to move." Jasmine cuts him off. "No. We stay right here." The viewers watching at home feel the shift. Every second pulls tighter. Nobody knows what Jasmine will reveal next, but she looks like someone who already accepted whatever fallout comes with dropping the truth. Trump points at her. "You don't know anything." Jasmine lifts a stack of papers. "I know enough." And the room goes still again. Ivanka leans forward with a tight jaw. "Jasmine, you're making assumptions." "Am I?" Jasmine opens the first page. "Because your messages here look pretty clear." Trump snaps toward Ivanka. "What messages?" Ivanka doesn't answer. Her silence is worse than a confession. Jasmine looks at Trump. "You two set rules. You two broke rules. You two lived inside a private bargain that was supposed to keep everything stable, but nothing stayed stable, did it?" Trump's face reddens. "You're making things up for ratings." "I don't need ratings," Jasmine says. "I just need the truth on record." Ivanka tries to steady herself. "You're taking moments out of context." Jasmine holds her gaze. "Then put them back in context. Explain why you wrote, 'We can't let anyone know what the actual agreement was.'" Trump shifts in his chair so hard his mic shakes. Ivanka closes her eyes, as if hoping silence will erase the sentence. Jasmine continues. "Explain why you wrote, Dad. This will blow up everything if it leaks." Trump snaps. "She didn't write that." "She did," Jasmine replies. "And you answered with, 'Lock it down.'" Ivanka whispers, "Please stop reading." The host tries again. "We need a commercial break." Jasmine raises a hand. "No break, not tonight." All three camera operators freeze. Nobody wants to be the one who cuts away. Trump tries to laugh it off. She's desperate, but Ivanka is trembling, and Jasmine notices every second of it. Jasmine locks her eyes on Ivanka. "You and Donald made an agreement about your marriage structures, your boundaries, and your roles. And you didn't just break it, you hid the break." Trump barks, "It's none of your business." Jasmine nods. "You're right. But it became everyone's business when you used the marriage to influence decisions, to shield actions, and to protect image. The moment you made it a tool, the truth became public property." Ivanka shakes her head. "You're twisting everything." "Then clarify," Jasmine says. "What exactly was the secret marriage condition you two fought over for years? What was the promise that fell apart?" Trump slams the table again. "This is a smear." Jasmine stays calm. "You're panicking because I'm not lying." Ivanka whispers, "Jasmine, don't." Jasmine flips to the next page. "You two agreed that any internal fractures had to stay inside the family circle. That no matter what tension came up, neither of you would let it spill outward. The public marriage had to look united, always." Trump rolls his eyes. "That's normal. Not the way you enforced it," Jasmine says. "Not the way you pressured each other. Not the way you rewrote the deal when cracks formed." Ivanka squeezes her hands together. "This is private." Jasmine shakes her head. "It stopped being private when you used it as a shield." Trump tries to shut her up. Nobody believes you, but his voice is cracking, and the audience sees it. Jasmine stands her ground. You hid the real conflict behind the scenes. The fights about loyalty, the fights about decisions, the fights about who carried the weight. Ivanka looks at Trump. We should stop talking, Trump mutters. She started this. Jasmine leans in. I didn't start anything, I'm finishing something you two kept dragging into public while pretending it didn't exist. Ivanka's jaw tightens. What do you want from us? The truth, Jasmine says. Tell the world what the actual agreement was. Trump scoffs. There was no agreement. Jasmine lifts a second document. Then explain the signed amendment. Ivanka gasps. How do you have that? Jasmine's eyes narrow. Don't worry about how, worry about what happens when I read it. Trump reaches for the paper like he can grab it out of her hand. But Jasmine pulls back. You'll sit, she says. Both of you. The shock in the room is so thick it feels like nobody is breathing. The host leans back, helpless. The studio is no longer his. Jasmine now owns the space. She opens the document and reads, We agree that any deviation from our private arrangement regarding personal commitments, emotional boundaries, or shared responsibilities will remain confidential. We will not allow any outsider to expose or interpret the nature of our marriage. Ivanka drops her gaze to the desk. Trump shakes his head. It means nothing. Jasmine continues. We further agree that if the arrangement ever becomes strained, we will revise internally, not publicly. Trump tries again. It's legal jargon. Jasmine flips the page. And we confirm that the real reason for the strain will never be spoken of outside the two of us. Ivanka's breath catches. Trump's knee bounces under the desk. And Jasmine sees everything she needs to see. Jasmine lowers the paper. Here's what everyone wants to know. What was the real reason for the strain? Ivanka's lips tremble. Jasmine, please. Trump blurts out. It's fake. Jasmine taps the papers. The signatures look real. Trump snaps. You don't understand anything about my family. Then explain it, Jasmine said. Ivanka whispers, don't. Trump pounds the table again. We're done here. Jasmine says, you're not. The host tries to step in. Jasmine, maybe. She cuts him off. Don't even try. She turns back to Trump. You broke the deal first. Trump jolts back. Excuse me, Jasmine repeats slowly. You broke the deal first. Ivanka closes her eyes. Trump tries to laugh. Nobody believes this. Jasmine smiles. You're sweating. And the camera zooms in, catching it. Ivanka's voice returns, thin and shaking. Jasmine, please stop reading things you don't understand. Oh, I understand perfectly, Jasmine says. The deal wasn't about fidelity. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about public appearances. It was about control, emotional control. Trump snaps. Absolutely not. Jasmine nods. Yes. You both signed an agreement to keep certain emotional conflicts hidden, and you broke it when you blamed Ivanka for something she didn't do. Ivanka looks down. Trump glares at Jasmine. You're making things up. Then tell me why you wrote, you ruined everything when you let that get out. Ivanka opens her eyes wide. Stop. Jasmine's voice hardens. Why did you accuse her of leaking something she actually tried to protect? Ivanka whispers. Jasmine. Trump throws his chair back. We're done. But Jasmine keeps talking, and the studio doesn't cut the feed. Jasmine lifts another sheet. There was a leak. It wasn't major on the surface, but inside the family, it cracked everything. Trump crosses his arms. There was no leak. Then why did Ivanka apologize for something she didn't do? Ivanka's eyes water. Please, Jasmine reads. I didn't tell anyone. I kept the agreement. I kept everything private. Why won't you believe me? Trump stands up again. Put that down. Jasmine continues. I followed the rules. You didn't. The entire room goes silent. Ivanka is shaking. Trump looks like he wants to walk off set, but he doesn't, because walking off would confirm everything. Jasmine lowers the paper. Trump, you accused her of breaking the marriage agreement. But you never apologized when you found out she was innocent. Ivanka covers her mouth. Trump looks away, and for the first time, he is completely quiet. Jasmine steps deeper into the truth. The fight that followed was huge. It's the one you both pretended never happened. The one you covered up. Ivanka tenses. Trump whispers, don't. Jasmine doesn't stop. You two stopped speaking for weeks, then months. And yet you forced a united front in public, Ivanka whispers. Jasmine, please. Trump clenches his fists. Nobody cares. Oh, they care, Jasmine says. Because you used the marriage image to sell stability. Ivanka wipes her eyes. Trump mutters something under his breath, but the mic picks it up anyway. This is going too far. Jasmine hears it, but she's not done. Jasmine takes a breath and delivers the line that shatters whatever the two of them were still trying to protect. The secret wasn't the agreement itself. It was the reason you made it. You two feared that if anyone knew how fractured things were behind closed doors, everything else around you would collapse. Ivanka cries silently. Trump looks ready to break the microphone. Jasmine continues. You feared the fallout of looking unstable. You feared the fallout of losing control. You feared the fallout of people seeing the truth. Trump barks. Shut up. Ivanka whispers. Dad, please stop. But Jasmine has already dropped the final piece. The marriage secret wasn't about romance. It was about the deal you made to keep peace inside a family that was quietly imploding. The room explodes with noise, hosts, producers, advisors, all scrambling. Trump shouts. Ivanka trembles. Staff yell off camera. And Jasmine stands alone. Steady. Exactly as the 17 seconds run out, Trump's voice cracks through the studio first. Turn the cameras off. Now. Nobody touches a button. The crew freezes because they know cutting the feed without permission could cost their jobs. And the network executives watching from the control room stare at the screens like they've been hit with cold water. Ivanka stands slowly. This isn't fair. Jasmine doesn't move. What's not fair is pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. Trump points at her again. You don't know anything. Jasmine raises her chin. I know enough to see why you're panicking. Ivanka turns toward her father. We should leave. Trump snaps back. We're not walking off. That makes us look guilty. Ivanka whispers. We already look guilty. Trump freezes for half a second. Jasmine sees it. There it is. You two know exactly what you were hiding. Trump storms back toward his seat. We didn't hide anything. This is all twisted. Jasmine tilts her head. Then explain why the moment I said the words marriage secret, you both reacted like someone cut oxygen in the room. Ivanka steps back, bracing herself against the desk to steady her shaking legs. Trump slams both hands on the table, leaning over the mic. You need to stop talking before you say something you regret. Jasmine doesn't blink. I don't regret truth. The host tries to bring order. Let's slow. Trump interrupts him. Stay out of this. But the host doesn't stay out. He sits frozen, hands curled around his note cards like they're the last thing keeping him grounded. Jasmine folds her papers. I haven't even started the part that matters most. Ivanka's eyes widen. Please don't. Jasmine looks at her calmly. Then you say it. You tell everyone what the actual core of the secret was. Ivanka doesn't answer. Trump growls. She's not saying anything. Jasmine nods. Of course she isn't. Because if she says it herself, people will finally know why your whole dynamic spiraled. Trump tries to regain control. Stop acting like you know anything about our family. Jasmine leans forward. If I didn't know, you wouldn't be scared right now. And the room goes dead silent again. Jasmine opens another paper. The amendment wasn't the shocking part. Anyone can write agreements. The shocking part was the reason you modified it. Trump scoffs. We didn't modify anything. Jasmine continues anyway. You changed the original rule when Ivanka refused to keep sacrificing her personal life for your image. Ivanka's voice trembles. Jasmine. Trump snaps at Ivanka. Don't talk. Jasmine notices. That's exactly what I mean. You wanted complete compliance. And when she pushed back, you panicked. Trump slams the desk again. Enough. Ivanka finally speaks louder. Dad, please stop yelling. But Trump doesn't stop. He swings toward Jasmine. You're lying. You're lying through your teeth. Jasmine casually taps the paper. Then explain why you wrote, if she steps out of line again, we restructure. Ivanka sinks into her chair like her knees gave out. Trump glares. You don't know the context. Jasmine fires back. Then give it. What did she do that you considered out of line? Ivanka whispers something too soft for the mic. Jasmine leans closer. Speak up. Ivanka closes her eyes. I didn't leak anything. I didn't betray anything. I just said I didn't want to live under that pressure anymore. Trump snaps at her. It wasn't pressure. Ivanka turns toward him. You controlled everything. Trump freezes again. Jasmine lifts her brows. Interesting. Ivanka looks away, breath shaking. I told him I wanted to change some things. I wanted to stop pretending everything was fine. Trump growls, you're being dramatic. Jasmine looks between them. So the marriage deal wasn't about loyalty, it was about silence. Ivanka doesn't deny it. Trump doesn't either. He just looks furious that Jasmine said it out loud. Ivanka wipes her eyes with the back of her hand. You don't understand the pressure. The constant instructions. The constant rules. The constant reminders that the image matters more than anything else. Trump's voice drops to a sharp whisper. Stop talking. But Ivanka doesn't stop this time. She looks right at Jasmine. He told me to hide how bad things were. Told me never to show weakness. Never to admit when the marriage wasn't working. Never to show any private issues, even when everything was falling apart. Trump throws a hand in the air. This is not true. Ivanka finally raises her voice. You told me to speak about stability while we weren't speaking at all. Trump turns red. You're exaggerating. But Ivanka's voice keeps coming, shaky but honest. We went 2 months without talking, 2 months where every public appearance was just performance, 2 months where every smile was fake. Jasmine leans in. So you broke the deal too? Ivanka nods, tears welling. I tried to protect the agreement, but he wouldn't let me be honest. Trump finally snaps. Cut the cameras, cut them. But again, no one moves. Producers stare, eyes wide. The director whispers, don't touch anything. The nation watches Trump lose control one heartbeat at a time. Jasmine places the last page on the table. She doesn't lift it yet. She waits for the tension to tighten the air further. Trump sees it and knows instantly that page is the one that terrifies him. Ivanka sees it too, and she shakes her head slowly. Don't show that. Trump barks. If you show anything else, Jasmine interrupts. You'll what? Yell louder? Call it fake? Walk out? You've already done all that. Trump glares. I swear. Jasmine cuts him off again. This is the part about the incident. Ivanka covers her mouth. Trump recoils. Don't say a word about that. Jasmine lifts the page. You kept this quiet for years. You two made sure nobody ever found out. But the amendment references it directly. Ivanka's breathing quickens. Trump tries to lunge forward, but security steps closer, just enough to stop him. Jasmine begins reading. The incident created irreversible internal strain. Therefore, we agree to maintain full confidentiality and deny all discussion of the event should anyone attempt to ask. Ivanka shakes her head. Jasmine, please don't. Jasmine reads the next line anyway. The incident must never reach the public under any circumstances. Trump shouts. Stop. But she keeps reading. If it leaks, our entire structure collapses. The studio erupts again. Producers yelling. Advisors shouting off camera. Phones ringing from people trying to shut down the broadcast. And Jasmine just keeps going. Jasmine lowers the page but keeps it visible. Here's what you two feared most. Here's what the incident actually was. Ivanka looks like she may collapse. Trump looks like he wants to flip the desk. The host whispers. This is historic. Jasmine says it clearly. The incident was the moment your private collapse became impossible to hide. The moment everything cracked. The moment you two couldn't pretend anymore. Trump shouts. Lies. Ivanka sobs quietly. Jasmine, please stop. But Jasmine continues. You two had a meltdown behind closed doors. A meltdown so severe you had to call in advisors to keep the image stable. A meltdown that made you renegotiate the entire marriage agreement. Trump is shaking with anger. You don't know what happened. Jasmine fires back. I know enough to know you blamed her unfairly. I know enough to know she tried to protect the truth. And I know enough to know you punished her for something she didn't do. Ivanka cries harder now. Trump slams his fist into the desk. This is over. Jasmine shakes her head. It ends when the truth ends it. And we're not there yet. Trump storms to the edge of the stage. Cut the feed right now. But the control room refuses. Ivanka stands again, unsteady. Dad, please, we should leave. Trump spins on her. Don't tell me what to do. Ivanka flinches. Jasmine steps forward. There it is. The real dynamic. The dynamic you hid behind that marriage agreement. Trump roars. Shut up. Security moves like they're expecting him to lunge. The host whispers, we need help. Producers whisper back. Nobody move. Jasmine takes another step. Trump, you blamed her for the incident when you were the one who caused it. Ivanka collapses back into her chair. Trump's voice cracks. No. Jasmine raises her voice now. You caused the meltdown. You caused the fracture. And you forced her to carry the consequences. That's why the agreement changed. That's why you panicked. That's why you're losing your mind on camera right now. Trump looks around for someone to rescue him. But nobody steps in. Ivanka whispers, please stop. But Jasmine doesn't stop. She's not done. Jasmine lifts the last sheet. Here's the part you both hoped nobody would ever read. Ivanka covers her face. Trump shakes his head violently. No. No. Jasmine reads. The original agreement was based on mutual protection. The revised agreement was based on fear. Trump shouts, stop reading. She continues. Fear that the foundation had collapsed. Fear that the incident would be discovered. Fear that public unity would disappear if the truth came out. Ivanka sobs harder. Trump slams his fist again. Cut the cameras. But still, nobody moves. Jasmine keeps going. We agree to continue the marriage narrative in public even if the internal structure becomes fractured beyond repair. The audience watching from home feels the air shift again. Trump collapses back into his chair. Ivanka lowers her hands but doesn't lift her head. And Jasmine looks at both of them with a calm finality. You two pretended unity, but the truth is your internal collapse began years ago, and you've been hiding the pieces ever since. Trump puts his head in his hands. Ivanka trembles uncontrollably, and Jasmine finishes the sentence that ends the entire secret. The real marriage was already over. Producers rush toward the stage. Advisors run in panic. Security closes in, unsure of who they're supposed to protect. Trump mutters over and over, "This is fake. This is fake." Ivanka whispers, "What have we done?" The host tries to close the show, but nobody can hear him over the noise. Jasmine stands still, watching the chaos unfold. Trump finally stands and screams at the crew, "If you don't shut this down, you're all fired." A producer replies quietly, "We don't work for you." Ivanka wipes her face, whispering apologies nobody asked for. Jasmine says one final line, "This was never about destroying you. It was about freeing the truth you kept locked away." Trump shouts again, but his voice is breaking now. Ivanka looks at Jasmine with exhausted eyes. "You didn't have to do it like this." Jasmine answers softly, "You didn't have to live like that." And that is the moment the studio finally cuts the feed. Not because Trump demanded it, but because the network couldn't handle any more fallout. The studio lights remain on even though the broadcast is gone. No one moves for several seconds. The silence feels heavier than the chaos that came before it. Trump stands there breathing hard, looking around like he doesn't recognize the room. Advisors rush in, trying to grab his arms, trying to talk to him, trying to guide him toward the exit. He yanks his arm back. "Don't touch me." Ivanka wipes her face again, trying to pull herself together, but her hands won't stop shaking. Jasmine stays still, watching everything quietly. She says nothing now. She doesn't need to. The truth already detonated. Ivanka finally gathers enough strength to speak. "Why would you read that? Why would you do it this way?" Jasmine answers calmly, "You never would have said a word if I didn't." Ivanka whispers, "Because it wasn't supposed to be public." Jasmine shakes her head. "Secrets like that always become public. You can't build a life on silence." Trump points at Jasmine with a trembling hand. "You're going to pay for this. I will make sure of that." Security steps between them immediately. Jasmine doesn't flinch. "You can yell all you want, nothing changes what you two wrote." Ivanka stands slowly, still pale, still unsteady. "We need to leave, now." Trump mutters, "Nobody tells me when to leave." But when he tries to walk toward Jasmine again, security holds him back with one small gesture, and he realizes he has no power in this room anymore. Ivanka gently touches his sleeve. "Dad, please, let's just go." Trump snarls but finally turns toward the hallway. Ivanka walks behind him with her head down, avoiding everyone's eyes. Jasmine watches them go in total silence, but she knows this isn't done, not even close. The moment the door shuts behind them, Trump explodes. "He had one job. The host was supposed to protect us. The crew was supposed to cut. Why didn't anyone cut?" His advisor tries to calm him. "Sir, the network can cut without confirmation." "Confirmation? Confirmation? I confirmed it. I told them to shut it down. I yelled it on air." Ivanka sits on a nearby sofa, hands shaking in her lap. She stares at the floor, saying nothing while Trump storms around the hallway like he's trapped in a cage. Another advisor steps in. "Sir, the moment you yelled, they froze. They didn't know if you were having an outburst or giving a legal instruction." Trump roars, "What kind of excuse is that?" Ivanka finally speaks, voice thin. "Dad, yelling isn't helping." He spins toward her. "Don't tell me what to do." Ivanka flinches again, and suddenly the hallway goes quiet. A single advisor steps forward. "Sir, this is bad." Trump glares. "Of course it's bad. She made up lies." Ivanka whispers, "They weren't lies." Trump rounds on her. "Don't." Ivanka stands quickly, backing away from him. "They weren't lies. You know they weren't. You know exactly what the incident was. You know exactly what we wrote. You know exactly why we wrote it." Trump stares at her like she betrayed him again. Ivanka's voice cracks. "We can't keep pretending none of this happened." Trump grabs the wall with one hand, shaking so hard his sleeve wrinkles. "We survived worse. We'll survive this." Ivanka shakes her head. "Not this time." Trump whispers something no one catches. Ivanka does, and it breaks something in her. While Trump continues raging in the hallway, Ivanka slips back through the studio door. She finds Jasmine packing her papers. Jasmine doesn't look surprised to see her. "You came back." Ivanka shuts the door behind her. "I need answers." Jasmine nods. "Ask." Ivanka steps closer. "Who gave you those documents?" "I promised confidentiality." Ivanka closes her eyes. "So it was someone close." Jasmine doesn't answer. Ivanka continues. "It wasn't staff. They don't have access to those pages. It wasn't lawyers. They wouldn't dare risk it." She opens her eyes again, staring at Jasmine. "So who was it?" Jasmine gently stacks the papers. "Someone who cared more about truth than fear."
Ivanka shakes her head.
"You don't understand what you did." Jasmine replies softly. "I understand exactly what I did." "No," Ivanka says. "You don't understand the aftermath. You don't understand the pressure. You don't understand the damage this will cause." Jasmine looks at her. "You hid inside a deal that was destroying you." Ivanka's voice breaks. "It was the only thing holding everything together." Jasmine steps closer. "No. It was the thing holding you hostage." Ivanka doesn't speak. She stands there with tears forming again, shoulders tense and tired. Jasmine places a hand gently on the table. "You didn't leak anything. You never did. But he blamed you anyway. Because blame was easier than looking at himself." Ivanka lets out a shaky breath. "You don't know what he's like when he feels cornered." Jasmine replies. "I do now." Ivanka laughs weakly. "That wasn't him cornered. That was him scared." Jasmine nods. "Exactly." Ivanka looks down at the floor. "You exposed something we never wanted the world to see." Jasmine asks her, "What part scares you the most? The exposure, or the truth?" Ivanka presses her lips together. She knows the answer. She just can't speak it. Ivanka steps closer. "You don't understand why the deal mattered." Jasmine looks up. "Then tell me." Ivanka hesitates. "It kept things manageable." Jasmine frowns. "Meaning?" Ivanka runs a hand through her hair. "The deal wasn't about romance or loyalty. It was about avoiding disaster. He thought if anyone saw how bad things were, everything would collapse." Jasmine answers. "Things collapsed anyway." Ivanka whispers, "Yes. But slowly. Quietly. Privately." Jasmine tilts her head. "Except now." Ivanka stiffens. Jasmine continues. "Now the collapse is public. Now the silence is broken. Now the agreement doesn't control you anymore." Ivanka's breathing grows unsteady. "You think this frees me?" Jasmine nods. "I think this saves you." Ivanka turns away, unable to accept that. "You don't know what comes next." Jasmine closes her folder. "Yes, Ivanka. I do. What comes next is truth." Ivanka lets out a long breath. "Truth is messy." Jasmine replies. "Silence is worse." Ivanka doesn't answer. She just closes her eyes and tries to process a lifetime of pressure collapsing in a single night. Trump suddenly bursts back into the studio, dragging 2 advisors behind him. He sees Jasmine and points at her again like she's the source of every problem he's ever had. "You think you're done? You think this is over?" Jasmine stays calm. "It's over because the truth is out." Trump steps closer until security blocks him. "You think this will destroy me? You have no idea who you're dealing with." Jasmine holds his gaze. Someone who's afraid of his own reflection. Trump lunges again, but security holds him back with firm hands on his shoulders. "Let go of me." Ivanka rushes forward. "Dad, stop." Trump jerks his arm away from her. "Don't touch me." Ivanka recoils. Jasmine watches the dynamic carefully. She sees every crack, every fracture, every silent injury that the marriage agreement tried to patch over. Trump yells at security. "Move! I'm talking to her." Security doesn't move. They've seen enough. Jasmine says quietly, "Trump, you don't get to rewrite the truth anymore." He shakes with fury. "She poisoned everything. She twisted everything. She ruined everything." Ivanka whispers, "She didn't ruin anything. It was already ruined." Trump stops mid-breath and looks at her with disbelief. Ivanka stands straighter. "We've been falling apart for years. You know that." Trump shakes his head. "No. You're just emotional." Ivanka wipes a tear. "I'm tired." Jasmine watches carefully. Trump whispers, "You betrayed me." Ivanka answers, "No, you betrayed me." And that hits harder than anything Jasmine could have said. Trump's knees almost buckle. His advisors catch him before he falls. Jasmine steps back, giving the family space. Ivanka stands inches from her father. "We can't keep lying. We can't keep pretending. We can't keep using fear as glue. It doesn't hold." Trump whispers through clenched teeth, "We survive together or not at all." Ivanka shakes her head. "We don't survive like this." Trump's voice cracks. "You think she's your friend. She exposed us. Jasmine answers softly. I exposed the truth. That's all. Ivanka closes her eyes. Maybe the truth needed to come out. Trump looks like someone pulled the ground out from under him. His face softens for only a second. A flash of genuine shock. Then it shifts back to anger. I will destroy every one of you, he whispers. Jasmine doesn't respond. Ivanka whispers, Dad, stop, please stop. You're only hurting yourself. Trump doesn't hear her. He storms out again, pushing past everyone, shouting commands nobody listens to. The door slams so hard the walls shake, and for the first time all night, the room is quiet. Ivanka turns to Jasmine with tired, defeated eyes. You didn't do this to hurt me, did you? Jasmine shakes her head. No. I did it because truth doesn't stay buried forever. Ivanka swallows. It was all going to come out eventually? Yes. Ivanka nods slowly, as if finally accepting it. She whispers, I don't know what happens now. Jasmine replies, maybe, for the first time, something real. Ivanka breathes out, long and shaky. Real sounds, terrifying. Jasmine nods. It always is. Ivanka wipes her face again. Thank you for not yelling back. Thank you for not attacking me. Jasmine softens her voice. Ivanka, you were never the enemy. Ivanka looks down. I wish someone told him that. She turns toward the door, shoulders heavy but lighter than before. As she walks out, she whispers one last line. He's not ready to face the truth. But maybe I am. The door closes behind her, and Jasmine stands alone in the studio, surrounded by silence, but filled with certainty. The real story wasn't the collapse. It was the moment Ivanka finally chose honesty over fear.